Hello, it's Angela here from Stamping Beauty in Christchurch, New Zealand. Today I am doing my first class, online class. Just realised my sound is on my phone. I don't want to be getting any interruptions, so hopefully, yep, sorted now. So all good to go. So welcome along. If you've got one of the kits, you'll have all the product and you'll have the PDF tutorial, or if you've purchased the PDF tutorial, you'll have that to follow along with. Otherwise, you can just watch and recreate these later, or purchase the PDF as well if you want to do that. I'm just trying to get myself, see that I can see myself, which sounds terrible, doesn't it? But just need to make sure that I can answer any questions as we go. So I'll just try and flick that on. Oh, here we go, ready to go. So that's great, that didn't take long. So welcome along. So if you've got any questions, just pop them in the comment and hopefully I'll see them as we go. Oh, hi Chris, thanks for coming along, and hopefully Cheryl is here. She can find where I am. So we'll get started. So if you've got the kit, you'll have, amongst other things, these sheets of DSP. And if you didn't have this, you could always use an alternative. Anything would work. There's a little bit of the ribbon, some baker's twine, and these little embellishments. And the reason I've done it in this order is to make the most of the paper that we've got. So that's hopefully that will work. So we're going to make this one first, and we're going to use this DSP here and this one here. So if you have got the PDF, you might have already cut it up, but I thought I would do it as we go. So, and just not speed it along too quickly. So I've got a piece, hold on, just move, a piece of basic white cardstock that I've already folded in half, so that's good to go. And I always just give that a good burnish down there just to make a nice sharp edge. Just check that. Right. The next thing what we're going to do is emboss. There's a layering panel, and that's that there. So that's in your kit. And I'm using the Eyelet 3D embossing folder. And so that's going to go in there. And I'll just bring in the machine. So, and you always want to run it with the fold edge first, just so it doesn't put any pressure on your folder, embossing folder. Just run that through. Yeah, I always love that embossing folder. I think that one is retiring, but anyway. So next we want to adhere a piece of this pink toadstool paper, and that is 8.5 centimetres. Just going to go across there by 10. And that along there. My measurements are good. And then we want a piece of this grey, and I'm using the grey going across that way, and that is 1.5 centimetres by 10. And the reason I'm doing the width last is so that I don't use too much of the paper and keep what I need aside. Excuse me. So we're going to adhere this bit of cardstock, and sometimes you see people and they just stick them on here, but I find that you get a really good panel with it when you adhere it, and not worrying about joins and things. It's just a bit easier. That glue might be on its way out. Got a new one here. So hopefully you can keep up. Oh good, you're here, Cheryl, that's great. But you can always, if you you know, not sure on anything, you can go back and watch it later. So I'm just adhering that so you can't see it there. And then the next thing is adhere this along the top. So you can see I've popped it right up there. So it's abutting that other piece. Some glue on there. And it's ages since I made these cards. I had to do a wee bit of a refresher yesterday. I thought, oh, so hopefully I've refreshed enough. And then you're going to adhere that to the card front now. So with some dimensionals, just spread those evenly along here. Those backs off. And then I always like to get that nice and even on here. So if I sort of just hover it above it, just and then drop it down. Going to make mine later. Oh, okay. Okay, that's fine. Right, so now you've got, we want to do this bow. So there's plenty of ribbon here. So I'll just measure that 35 centimetres as it is. And I was only thinking the other day, there used to be a time when I never would have tied a bow on Facebook, and I was thinking that the other day and then tied one terribly. So let's hope this turns out okay. So, oops, something's sticking to me. Right. I love this. This is my favourite ribbon. Just makes tying bows really easy. If you didn't want to tie a bow, you could just put some adhesive on there and then adhere it. Just pop it onto the adhesive like that so that you're not tying a bow. It's always a little bit of a cheat behind if you're not going to see where the bow goes. Or do it like this. Do 2 little loops and tie a knot. Just thread that through. That's kind of an easy way. I think they teach children how to do that with their shoelaces. It's a little bit uneven, but that's okay. You can just faff with it and trim the edges down anyway. I like to give it a really good sharp pull and then bring it back from that. It was a bit backwards and forwards thing, but I think that looks all right. Just check the loops are fairly much the same. Put them over my finger. That's enough faffing. So I just want to get that down. So I'm going to pop a glue dot. Glue dots are always a good way. Oh, hi Lynette, nice to have you here. What time is it for you? Have you? We've got it. I think our daylight saving happens today, actually, or tonight. I'm just going to trim that to the same length. And then it doesn't really matter which way you have your bow going, just as long as it's going to poke out from the side of your circle. So next thing is this circle here. Die cut the circle, so we've got a little square of basic white cardstock, and these dies here, which are the stylish. I don't know what they are. Off. Why does your mind go blank when you're doing something like this? Stylish Shapes dies. They're fabulous. They're my go-to. It's 11:50. Oh, it finishes tomorrow. Yeah, which it does. I'm pretty sure it does here too. Right, so I'm going to die cut that circle. Just reading my notes. And then that is going to go over here with dimensionals, because we want it to sort of miss that bow. Let's cut some of these. Got to use every last skerrick of these dimensionals. Oh, hi Lucia, thanks for coming along. We'll put one there and one, tuck this one in there. And then tuck that over there. Actually, that looks a bit long. You could trim it into a little wee tag if you wanted. So that's that. Now we're going to, we'll die cut the wish while we're here. So we've got, we're going to trim it down. That's the outline. Get those bits that have stuck off it. That's the outline, so I don't need to do too much of it. And then I'm going to do the grey in adhesive, so make it into a sticker. Just tuck that on there. Hold that end off there. I love making stickers. This is my favourite thing. So clever. I can see there are a couple of little dots still in here. So the other thing, if your dot doesn't, if you lose your dot, you can always just put a little circle of the grey to match, or whatever colour you're using. So those dots can go for miles. Put it here. Right, so I'm bringing my die cutting machine in. I'll see if I can get these done in one go. So wash on there. Let's see. And then wash on here. Just tuck that like that, and then bring in my run that through. Hopefully one time should just be enough. So if you didn't have this DSP, you could do this with lots of the Stampin' Up DSPs, because they really do lend themselves to doing something like this, I think. Right, so we've got this, and what I want to do is just trim that. Oopsie. Trim this. This becomes the eye, but you can take it up as much or as little as you like, just to give it a little curve on there. And the dot has gone, so I'm just going to, it's still in here, take the back sticker bit off, line it up onto here, and poke that down in there. Yeah, it's pretty much in place. And then with this one, I do want to take that down. See, it needs to be trimmed to sit inside there. I'll just trim that round. Might need a bit more of it, but I'll know once I've sort of lined it up. Get that all out of the way. Just line that. Oh yeah, that looks pretty good. I think that'll work. I'm just going to take that sticky back off. And you just got to be careful with these because they stretch so easily, so you just want to be fairly gentle with it. That was pretty easy to force it into submission. Right, so actually you could have done that on a foam, but anyway I didn't, so I'm just going to get some minis just to pop on that so it will sit out to the side there. And actually it's probably only going to need some halves. That's probably all it needs. Yeah, sometimes you don't really need to stick it down too much. Right. And then that's going to stick sort of about there. You could pop a dab of glue. I might do that later. I'll see how it goes with when I get my little toadstool on. So then you want to bring in this paper here. And so we've got this little toadstool. So I think the best thing is to go as close, you know, don't pick one in the middle because, you know, we might be using some of that after. So we'll stick to as close as we can. So you just want to fussy cut that. Or if you had the set, you could stamp and die cut something. And even if you're using one of the other Stampin' Up DSPs, there's bound to be an image that you can fussy cut. So I want to go around this one here. And I've taken out, let me see, some of that greenery. Just left that clump in the middle. Just round here, shoot across there, so it's a bit easier to get that out of the way. So we'll just round here, got that little bit of greenery, not too much. You just want to make it as simple for yourself as possible. I'm going to cut that one off. Right, and then that is going to sit up on here on dimensionals. Not much to do that. Oopsie. Well, this is quite fun doing a class like this. I must do some more often. Right, now we can use some of these, whichever ones you like. I've used the pinky little ones here, but it doesn't really, it won't matter because they all go together. Oh, thank you, Paula. Nice to have you here too. I'm just going to trim that a little bit off there. So we want to go in with one of the large ones. Oops. Large ones up here. And got another large one. I think I gave out plenty, and when they're kits there are plenty, so you've always got some left over. So that is that. Then what do we want to do? Oh, I'm going to do the envelope. Now, that, as you can see, doesn't quite go there, but you've got this little bit here. So that lines up there. So that's what we're going to do. So we'll put, I think we'll work this way. It's going to work. So, might as well do this now, and then it's out of the way, isn't it? So we'll just put, and nobody will notice. I don't think that there's a join. I'll just line that right up to the top. Got a bit of wiggle room, hopefully, because of the glue. Right there. And then just add some glue. Not too much, because you don't want it squishing out the edges. That tucked on there. And this is a great way to use up, you know, DSP, because you don't want it left over. Right. So get that out of the way. Just managed to make quite a mess here, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to trim around here. So just use that flap of the envelope as your guide. That sort of tiny little, butt your scissors up and run it around. then we just want to trim that bit off. I am just going to use, you could use a trimmer, but you don't want to slit that, otherwise it's going to end up cutting off your flap anyway, so you're no further ahead. Right, so that is done. That is done. So that's the first card done. So that's 20 minutes, so that's not too bad. And that was not things cut up, so we'll set that one aside. So my next one, bring that in. Card number 2 is this one here. So I've got all my bits and pieces here, my instructions. So I'll give you a couple of minutes to, oh thanks Chris. Oh it does finish in New Zealand tonight. Oh, that's good to know. I was pretty sure it did, but just lost. I don't know, I've lost this week, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Right, so yeah, I'll just tidy a few things up. And we can be ready to go. So, right, next one. So this one here, so we are going to tuck the envelope away till the end. Get my instructions out. So we've got fresh freezer this time. And when I'm folding them in half, I always find when I've cut a sheet in half, there's always a little bit of a lip. So I always put that to the inside, and then I never do, well, hardly ever do the scoring there for half. I just roll it forward and then bring it back and then just add that on there. I just find that that's easy and get quite a good, good neat fold. Right, so next thing we're going to do is we've got another panel and got the distress tile this time. I have a funny feeling this one's leaving too, which I'm heartbroken about. This is one of my favourites, but that's okay. I'll find another favourite. That's usually the way. Right, so we'll run that through. And I'm using, apart from the dies from the Delightful Wishes bundle to create Wish, I'm using these out of the Greetings for All ephemera pack. It's so fantastic. There's just lots and lots of choices for sentiments. Right, so we've done that. Then we're going to adhere this strip of paper. So that is, trim it back out. That's 9.5, just check that. No, it's 9.5 by 8. So I'm just going to go along here at 8. And then 9.5. Because it's quite a slim piece of this layering panel. So that's that piece there. And it's going to, we're going to adhere it 3 centimeters down. I'll put some glue on the back of that. Oh yes, it's funny you say that, Lucia, because I don't, you know me, I don't keep retired things, but I was thinking, oh, I don't want that one to go, so it might be one that does end up staying. It might get a reprieve. Right, so 3 centimeters down, 1, 2, 3. Looks all right. So that's easy. And then I'm going to wrap some ribbon around. I've got glue on my fingers now. So that needs to be 40 centimeters. So, and tie a bow. So there are a couple of options with this. You could tie it around and then just adhere the bow to it later if you want. Oh, there's, yeah, I know. Who am I? Who am I that I'm going to keep something that's retired? So you could wrap it round and adhere the bow later, do it separately, or you could try it like this. It's my husband home. I hope he realises that I'm doing something. Actually, 40 centimetres is a little bit tight, but it's okay, it still does work. Right, give it a good tug and then go back in and pull and then tug again. Oh, I think that bow turned out better than my last one. So that's about, it's a little bit higher than the middle. Sometimes things look a bit better if they are just slightly higher. Right, so there, so that is done. And then you can adhere this panel to the card front. Oh, hi Nicole, thanks for coming along. Nice to have you here too. Yeah, I just thought I'd do this online class for a bit of a change. And it's quite fun doing this. Sometimes, you know, the Facebook Live go quite quickly when you're just doing one card. Right, and then that can go onto there. It's always good when it's when it is same colour. You get a bit of room for it being, if it's not quite straight. But yeah, hopefully that is straight. That's that. Well, it's a good idea. Yeah, it's fun. Right, so now we're going to do some circles. So we're going to do a circle out of that, out of the fresh freesia and the bigger one, and then we're going to use that same, this one here again. So we want, I think that looks, choose where I want it. To think about, just check my other cards, what I've used. Oh no, that's all right. I've got plenty of, so just about there, I think. So I'm going to bring my big one, die cutting machine in again, so I can get them, hopefully both go through at the same time. I always like to do things, if I can, to save time. So I think about there, hopefully you can see that, and then pop this one, so maybe I'll tuck that around there, think about there, don't want it going off the edge, that should be okay, and that one on there, and then run that through. It doesn't really matter, you could put that if you wanted a different image. It's just that getting that big toadstool through. So yeah, I think these cards, these layouts are pretty basic, you know, that you could use for any DSP. And we always have such beautiful DSP, you may as well use it, especially if you have a stash. Where's that gone? Right, so we'll put those aside. I'll be using those shortly. So that one is going to sit in there with dimensional. So get, and even that's a flat ribbon. I still don't want to sit it on it. I'll just avoid the ribbon. And tuck that in. That's good. When you do a circle, you don't have to line anything up. It always makes things easier. And then we'll just get a few of those on there. And then the good thing with the sentiments too, you don't have to heat emboss, then try and trim them. They just pop out. So this one, I thought I'd pop to the grad on here. So I'm just going to pop some dimensionals towards the left of that so that it can sit. Otherwise, if I do them under there, I'm going to have to do a whole pile. I can't be bothered. Oh, did I say that? Sometimes I should be called the lazy stamper. And then bring these back in, and I'm going to use these bright colour ones. Oh, you've got lots of, oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, we want to use the DSP. There's no point having it in the cupboard, is there? So, that one up there, and another one down there. And then we are going to do the envelope. Bring that back in, and that's with a stripe. And of course the stripe is so easy to line up because it doesn't really matter. So we'll put this piece on. Actually, I just may as well do the whole. And this is another good way of using up that DSP, is with doing it on the envelopes. You could do it on the inside even. And if people think, oh, where are you going to put your return address on the back? Well, if you're set posting it, you can just do a wee label or something. We'll do it down here. Right, and I just want to spread that glue a bit more for this tiny little piece here. Oh, I've just realised, oopsie, one of these cards I need to, oh no, I'm not using the, oh that's right, not using that, so I don't need to worry. It's all right, carry on. It's one of the cards uses a bit of DSP from all of them. So I'll just give that a minute or two. Bring the scissors in. Oh, hi. Oh, you're here. Oh, great, Caroline. Thanks. It's great. So I've just done card number 2. This is card number 2 we're finishing off. But you can go back and watch them later, or I'm going to save them to YouTube. I'll just cut that around there. So out of your DSP, you know, there's not much left. Just a couple of that and that. That's pretty good going, isn't it? Right, now what? Now next. So that's the second card done. So easy peasy. So now we're going to just tidy up a little bit again, and you can get your next kit out. Oh, it does, yeah, it does. But oh, hi Wendy, thank you. I know. I think I'm not very good at decorating on the front. I don't know why. I need to get that. Needs to be, maybe that could be my, we're into the new year a bit, but I might try that. Right, so the next card we're going to do is this one, and this one is super quick and easy, and a great way to use your DSP. So that's the card there. So we've got a card base, and this is the Melon Mambo, which I always love Melon Mambo. I'll get that folded in half. And actually these dies are going, the deckled edges. I love these. They might be, that might be another one. Who knew I'd be keeping cards that I keeping dies. Right, so we need this one. I need to get back on track. That one and that one. So you've got this pink dotted paper, and we're going to trim that, and that doesn't really matter which way around it goes. That's going to be 13.35, so right up here. Trim that little bit off by 10. That's going to be the whole front. And that you could do that on dimensionals if you want, but I just chose to glue that straight down. Actually, that doesn't look right. Oopsie. Do you know what? I didn't, oh yeah, I did do 13.35. Don't cut that. If you've cut that already, you might have to do an amendment. I should have, oh, it's 14.35. So if you've cut it already, sorry, but if you haven't, it's 14.35. Oh, the textured note, yeah, I should do that. So that's 14.35. Sorry about that, people. But if you've done that, a couple of options. You can either just cut another little bit and line it up, or we could just make this a little bit narrower. No, that's not going to work. I'm just going to tuck a little bit on the bottom. I don't think you'll notice. And so it's 10 wide. So here you go. That's not good, is it? Making a mistake. Oopsie. It's only about 1 centimetre. Right. So it probably wouldn't matter too much. So you could either make it smaller or just add a little bit on the bottom. I will make that amendment and send that out actually. Right. Oh, I thought I ordered that, and then when I looked, my order came, it wasn't in there, so I realised I mustn't have ordered it after all. So I'm just going to tuck that along the bottom. And look, you really can't tell that much. Hopefully you can't. Oh, we're all human here. I know, but it's not good, is it, to do mistakes like that when you're doing a class. But anyway, it really doesn't know. It's not noticeable. So the deckled, we want that to go on here. So that will go on that through here. And because this is wide enough to take it, you don't need to cut it down. So you can just go straight through with it. So anywhere that you choose that you'd like to. But just keep it sort of probably to one side, that so you can use the rest of the DSP for something else. Right, so run that through. Get that out of the way. I need a rotating table. That'd be quite handy, wouldn't it, for those things? And that is just going to be stuck there with dimensional, so that can, I always think just raising it up a little bit. And I've told this story a lot of times, but one time I hadn't been card making that long, and I asked my husband how something looked, and he told me it looked a bit flat because I hadn't used any. So now I probably overkill using too many. Yeah. Once being, oh yeah, oh that's good. I'm glad that's worked, Caroline. Right, so we've got those off, and then that is just going to sit. So if you didn't have that die, you can just and actually if I put it about there, it is about 1 centimetre from the bottom. Then you've got this last piece of ribbon, which is 35 centimetres, and that's going to be another bow. So if you're not a bow maker, I'm sorry about that, but you could do that same thing, you know, stick it there, put another glue dot, and wind it around. But it's got some electricity in it actually. Let's tie that into a knot, pull that. That tight. And I love this ribbon because you can just really get it to do whatever you like, you know, just have a fiddle with it and play around with it. So that is going to sit like that. Just make sure I've got the loops yep, even, and I'll put, so you could a glue dot. I always like glue dots, but otherwise you could just use what could you use? Just a bit of, you know, your Stampin' Seal. So about there. That's about 2 fingers out, just under 2 fingers. I always sort of measure sometimes with things like that. And then tuck that onto there. Sometimes I sort of try and get it into submission, but other times it's just nice to let it do full where it likes. And then another one of these greetings, and I think that needs a double layer, because just to get avoid that knot in the middle. So I'll just put one on each end of the thanks, take the back off, and then put another layer on top. So you get, just lift it up to here, so hopefully you can see there's two levels, and then that will just sit over the knot, and it just gives you a bit of room so it doesn't go up and down. Get those out of the way. And you could trim that down. I think I have trimmed the other one down. You could do that on a bit of an angle this time. That. And then what's the other next thing to do? The dimension, the little embellishments. And this one I've used the white one, so they're probably a little bit harder to see on here, but they are cute because they've got a little bit of sparkle. So once again, my little trio of those, and there are plenty in the pack, so you could add some more if you wanted to use them all up. And then this one, all I did for that, for the envelope, is just did a little die cut out of that, and I'll just use that little bit down the bottom there. So I'll bring my, one in. Oh. I should have very big muscles. Putting this up and around. That's quite cute with the wee ladybug on it. Bring that through. And then that just can be stuck straight down on your envelope, just in that corner. Or it doesn't matter actually. I might put this one because I'm going to have you stamp over there, so maybe tuck this one on the left hand side there. And that always makes it a little bit fun getting an envelope with that on it. So that is the third card. So we're doing pretty well. That's 3/4 of an hour and 3 cards. So I think the time, a lot of the time is in designing them. I think sometimes it seems to take forever, but that's fun too. I always like that. So this is the last card. So if you're keeping up, you're doing well. If you're not, that's okay. You can watch later. And then you can stop and start me. So this one here, and this time I'm using the Timber 3D, and this one is going as well, which is a bit of a shame, but that might be another one I keep because I do think it'll be handy. Although there is a wood one, so I could replace it with that. I always think they're quite versatile, those embossing folders. Right, so you've got basic white cardstock, and we've got a basic white layer, and I'm just going to emboss that with the timber. Bring this back. Tuck that on with the join that way. And of course, if you don't have that, you could use anything. Any embossing folder would work with this. I'm going to be die cutting a whole lot in a minute, but I'll just get that out of the way in time. Ready for that. And this again is on dimensionals. And get the nice good spread of those, just so that it makes it not lumpy and bumpy. Oh, you like the timber one? Yeah, that's good. They still, yeah, the birch one, that's what it was. I couldn't quite remember. I don't have that, but I might have to get it. I'll just tuck some extra ones in there. those backs off. And once again, that's a white card base, so that does make it easy to go straight down on there. And then what we're going to do is die cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circles. So we've got that one here, just one of those, and one of those, and 2 of the little ones. So get that out of the way. Does anyone else make a mess when they're crafting? I try to clean up at the end, because it's there's nothing worse than coming back into your room the next day or later and there's a mess. Right, so we bring that back in, and we're going to bring in this one here, and we want another one of those. I kind of like that. I actually might do that one up there, because then that gives me, you know, I can do some more with that later on. About there. And run that through. So if you think this is something, you know, you like the idea of me doing online classes, let me know, because it's always good to know if that's what people like. There's no point doing things if people don't. Then this one, so we've got still got plenty of that left. And what else have we got? Yep, there's my little oh, here. See, there's the tiniest little bit of that left, which is that can tuck in. Tuck that in there. What else? Oh, I'll do these first, and then I'll come back to the others. I'm running out of room on here. I love this this layout for with the circles, because I think that's it's easy, and it's a great way to use your DSP. And then this one here, for the smallest one, I did a bit of greenery. It's going to be tucked underneath. I might just tuck that there, run that through. You would really like, oh, okay, yeah. Yes, all the time hold on, only clean after I finish it. Oh, great. Yeah. Okay, oh, that's good to know about the online classes, because I do quite like it. It's quite fun getting them all prepared and sending them out. And I don't have to clean the house. And this one, just seeing if I had another scrap. Oh, yeah, no, I don't. That's right. I'll just tuck that in the corner there. And I know you shouldn't probably advocate it, but you can put a couple of bits of DSP through at the same time with the dies. I've found sometimes it's worked. So you could do a double cut, you know, do 2 lots of circles at the same time, so you're getting your cards made a bit quicker if you're wanting to do that. So those are all going on dimensional. So just actually, it wasn't that I did that one. It wasn't that one. It was this one, but it doesn't matter. There aren't really any rules, are there? You can do what you like. But you just want to make sure you have enough of everything left for the card, for each card. Probably just another half on there. Right, that should be okay. So then bring back your card, and then you could lay them down. I always find if I lay them out and then see how they work, when I go to put them down the second time, it's never quite the same. So it's probably just as easy just to go for it. So pop that on there. Tuck this one, and this, because it doesn't have a direction, it doesn't matter. That one, I'll come back to that one actually. This one here, that's directional, so let's tuck that up about there. Just make sure you've left plenty of room for your dimensionals to, you know, they're not too close to the edge. And then that one's directional, we can just tuck that under there. And then I used that, I thought this paper looked really cute for a baby card, but also I've got that little sentiment, I love you, so I'm going to use that. I've got some, there's some baker's twine that I've put on there. Just lift that, get the staple out. And tie a bow. So yeah, any feedback I'm happy to have, good or bad. It's always good to know, and you can learn from that. So a dot on that. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, cut the, yeah. No, you don't want to wait. Well, we may as well be economic with the paper if we can, so then you can get more out of it. Pop that glue dot on there. I think my bow was bigger on the last one, but that's okay. I'll just trim that down. And then I've already put, I must have got that ready for another project perhaps. I've taken put a bit of glue on the dimensionals to make it stick. Just to change my mind. It can stick over there. Just need a little bit of time for it to stay in place. Oh, see what I mean? Holding it up is not ideal. Just need to see if it's straight. Right, that is that. And then this one I used 5 of these. I really pushed the boat out. Might as well use them up, and especially when they coordinate with the paper. And a couple down here. So pretty. That I just love that paper. I thought it was cute. And then with this one, the envelope, I'm just doing that grain on it. I think that was the last one that I had, so I'm going to do the same thing and join it. You could always make it, like create a little template, because with the 6x6 paper it's never going to fit. You could make a little template that's a bit smaller, so it just sits on inside that shape. Right, so I just need to, now I've got glue everywhere, make sure I don't glue myself. Oopsie. So do the same thing, just trim that. Come back to that a little bit there later. And then I'll just pop that up there. Oops. Less haste, more speed. And come around here and trim that off. Trim around here. That other side's cute too, with all the variations of colours. So you could probably do a few more cards with the circles if you wanted, just with the leftovers. And that is that envelope finished. So that's the last card. Last card. There's a game, isn't there? Right. So that's, so as you can see, you know, those ephemera pack, the sentiments work really well. And just change up how they look. Third, 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the 4 cards done. So that's pretty good. I hopefully you didn't think I was speeding. I think I was, but it just went quite smoothly. And I think that's why when you've got a layout, something like any of these, you can just keep on repeat, because just with a different DSP or stamp set, how different, you know, the look gets, and it saves recreating the wheel with designing. So, oh, thanks, Lisa. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and hopefully you got that measurement before I messed it up. Thanks, Chris. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, and if you make them up, tag me. Always happy to see. Or if you make an alteration, you know, let me know. So thanks very much for hanging out for the last hour. It was lovely to have you here. And as I say, I will save this onto YouTube, because Facebook now are not keeping them forever. And thanks, Wendy, and hopefully see you again soon. So take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye.